Let's talk about Turkey. The country saw a fifth straight night of protests. Here's where things stand right now. Istanbul's mayor Ekrem Imamoglu has been jailed. Tens of thousands of people are out on the streets, and the West has condemned President Recep Tayyip Erdogan for silencing his rivals. So has Imamoglu committed a crime? Is Turkey on the brink of dictatorship, or will the arrest be the end of Erdogan? And will the protests birth a new opposition leader? I'm Annaya Dutta. Welcome to Grey Zone. For some of us who have been covering international politics, history repeats itself more than you would imagine. And history doesn't always repeat in the same place. Sometimes one dictator learns from the other. In 2020 Belarus, President Alexander Lukashenko jailed his main rival, Sergei Tikhanovsky, on corruption charges. As he fought for his life behind bars, Tikhanovsky's wife, Svetlana Tikhanovskaya, started another fight outside.
The man I love was trying to topple a dictator, and then he went to jail for it. So I did what any loyal wife would do. I ran in his place.
Now something similar is happening in Turkey. Last week changed the country's political landscape. Istanbul's mayor Ekrem Imamoglu was stripped of his college degree, charged with corruption, detained at dawn, and now sits behind bars pending a trial. The move has prompted tens of thousands out of their houses and onto the streets. Police used pepper spray, tear gas, and water cannons to disperse crowds. But it soon morphed into the biggest protest Turkey has seen in decades. One person who emerged as the leader of this voice is Imamoglu's wife, Dilek Imamoglu. An activist by profession, she filled the shoes gracefully in her husband's absence. On Sunday, she decided to speak to the protesters directly.
The injustice Ekrem faced, it struck a chord with every conscience. Everyone found something of themselves and the injustices they faced in what was done to Ekrem. He will defeat you. You will lose.
She did what many of the CHP party leaders have failed to achieve. Dilek struck a chord with not just the supporters of her husband, but also with those who are just frustrated with President Erdogan. Not everyone out in the streets are people who support Imamoglu. Some seem to be of the opinion that it's not just the Istanbul mayor's fate on the line, but also the country's.
This is a political coup. We have seen this in Turkey like so many times, but previously it was mostly with the military support. But this time, this is a civil coup organized by Erdogan, and this is very obviously not lawful. If it is lawful, everyone should get their punishment.
You see the people. We are trying to show them our reaction. The only thing we want, in a just way, we in this country are so fed up with anxiety, fear, and pressure. Everything should be free, equal. This is the only thing people want.
So there is visible frustration among the people, and it goes beyond Imamoglu's arrest. The reason is this man. Recep Tayyip Erdogan has run Turkey for 22 years. He was elected as the mayor of Istanbul in 1994 and ran the city for the next 4 years. But his term came to an end when he was convicted of inciting racial hatred. In 1998, he recited a poem, a verse of which says, and I'm quoting, "The mosques are our barracks, the domes are helmets, the minarets are bayonets, and the faithful are soldiers." After serving 4 months in jail, he resurrected his political career in 2001 with a new party, Justice and Development Party, AKP for short. Within 2 years, in 2003, he was made the Prime Minister and was directly elected President in 2014. Since then, Erdogan has flexed Turkey's muscles as a regional power, championed Islamist causes, and has been quick to outmaneuver political opposition. After he survived a coup attempt in 2016, he turned his presidency into an ever more powerful executive role and cracked down on his opponents and dissent. When it comes to Imamoglu, he has been seen as a significant challenge to Erdogan. He has run 3 times for Istanbul mayor against Erdogan's candidate, winning on all 3 occasions. It was just last year when the people of Istanbul chose him again. The popular mayor was positioned to become Erdogan's main challenger in May 2028. Experts say some of the allegations against Imamoglu could be credible, given widespread corruption in part of Turkey's political landscape. But having said that, many believe that the arrest is politically motivated, something the government, and Erdogan specifically, has denied.
We are faced with great tyranny, but I want you to know that I will not give up. I love you all very much.
Should Imamoglu be convicted, which is being seen as a highly likely scenario, he would be disqualified from running, forcing the opposition to field a less popular candidate, or maybe a new leader. Like a meticulous gardener, Erdogan has been sowing allies and plucking adversaries in Turkey. In this evolving system lies his ultimate objective: to establish a constitution that reflects his political Islamist ideology, imposing a rigid, unchecked system of governance on Turkey's 85 million citizens. Having already transformed the secular parliamentary system, he is now accelerating towards a theocratic dictatorship. While he has not yet fully realized his vision, every move he makes brings Turkey closer to that reality. We see that on the streets with protesters being pepper sprayed and online with hundreds of X accounts being blocked.
Bir kez daha hatırlatmakta fayda görüyorum.
I believe it is worth reminding once again that the days of going out into the streets, taking left-wing organizations, extremists, and vandals with you, and threatening the national will are now behind us.
Sokak terörü üzerinden
The days when politics and justice were directed through street terror are now completely a thing of the past, along with old Turkey.
tamamen mazide kalmıştır.
And this isn't limited to the border of Turkey. Erdogan's muscular diplomacy has riled allies in Europe and beyond, and giving him the title of a difficult ally. Although he is the head of a NATO country, he has positioned himself as a broker in Russia's war in Ukraine. But the role is more self-serving, and the West is starting to realize that. Today, the US and Russia have started ceasefire talks in Riyadh, ditching Ankara. So where will Erdogan go if he manages to piss off every single person? He wants to be the saint, calling for peace. At the same time, he wants to wield absolute power like the Ayatollah of Iran. In a bid to bridge these extremes, he risks falling through. Imamoglu is not the first politician to be forced out of the game by President Erdogan, and most likely won't be the last. So as the opposition as well as the voters are calling for early elections in the country, we wait to see the extent Erdogan will go to silence the dissent. As we said earlier, history always repeats itself. For Turkey, if it will be a civil war or a dictatorship, we will get to know soon.